Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I am taking a look at a film that actually seems kind of interesting. It is a horror comedy that came out last year, 2010, and the big thing about this film was it was made in a very short time on a very short budget. In fact, it actually says right here on the back of the DVD case. It was shot in 11 days, and the budget of it and the budget on it was a meager $15,000. Tonight's film is called My Bloody Wedding. Believe it or not, I bought this over at my local Family Video for $2 because they were trying to offload the final copy of it, which is now in my hand. And when I read everything that was on the back here, I was really fascinated because this sounds really cool. So I bought it, I took it home, and then I found the trailer on YouTube, and I was laughing my ass off at the trailer. So I have really high hopes on this thing. But before I get into the movie, I do have a small complaint, and this has to do with the DVD itself. See? There's one thing I've always hated on DVDs, and that is when you pop it in and you're flooded with trailers at the start of the disc. You haven't even gotten to the menu yet. You basically just get, you know, FBI warning, studio logo, and then 5 or 6 trailers. The difference is that most of those DVDs allow you to skip those trailers. This one didn't. I popped it in here. I wasn't able to skip the trailers. I wasn't able to jump directly to the menu. I wasn't even able to fast forward through the fucking trailers. So I had to sit here for 10 minutes and watch these god-awful trailers start running. None of those films looked in any way interesting. The closest one that actually looked like it might have been kind of promising was Baghdad, Texas, which is a film about a bunch of retards in Texas who think they have found Saddam Hussein in a tool shed. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. That is the closest thing the trailers at the start of this disc had to being promising, which seems kind of sad since when I saw the trailer for this thing itself, I thought it looked awesome. I thought maybe they would have tried to find, you know, like a bunch of trailers that are at least kind of similar in style or quality, but no. That actually is just a complaint on the DVD itself. If this thing is on Netflix, or if it's on Hulu, or if the filmmakers have it like up on YouTube or something, you don't have to worry about the 10 minutes of bullshit that I had to sit through. So hey, at least that's a positive if you're not watching the fucking DVD. However, if you have no other option and the DVD is your only choice, you had better find something to do for the first 10 minutes you have the disc in the player. So, now that I've vented on that bullshit, let's actually check out the film itself. Because I still have hopes on this. I still have hopes that I am getting into a film that is going to be shockingly good. I really want it to be. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out My Bloody Wedding. Well, so the film starts off with a rap song that kind of sums up the film's premise. And besides the fact that we have a rather ugly-looking dude in very ill-fitting shorts, that song was actually kind of cool. Alright, I actually am kind of liking this so far. Okay, that was quite possibly one of the most off-putting things I have ever seen. Our male lead in drag fondling a necklace just seemed a little bit bizarre, but it still was sort of funny, so hey, that's still a positive.
It'll take like 5 minutes.
So his parents give him a homemade sex tape in order to teach him how to properly have sex. There are so many shades of fucked up in that, but goddammit, that actually is what makes it so fucking funny. This is quite possibly one of the most random dance numbers I've ever seen in a film. Mind you, though, now that actually is not a bad thing, just seemed way out of place. and still kind of cool.
You called me.
So wait a minute. So he was having troubles pondering the fact that she might have been cheating on him. But now that he found out that she actually killed him instead of fucked him, everything's cool. Okay, I really kind of sort of like the tone of this film. This is some really funny shit. Now I have got to ask, where the hell can I purchase a stuffed rabbit which squirts tons of blood when you happen to stab it? I really want one now, because that was probably one of the coolest things I have ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Magic weenie juice. I never thought I'd live to see the day when I would see a film which uses the phrase magic weenie juice to explain somebody's splooge. That is really kind of different. There we go, guys. That is My Bloody Wedding. I actually kind of found it sort of cool that the film ends with the blooper reel. That actually is something that I don't think has happened yet in this series, was a film ending on the blooper reel. So, yeah, let me just pop out the disc here. Let's talk about this film, shall we? First of all, I mentioned earlier the budget. Because, well, they tout the budget right on the back here amongst the, like, write-up over here. And it does say it was shot in 11 days for only $15,000. I want everybody to take note, because I've noticed a lot of films out there, ones with really small budgets, and usually whenever people criticize these films, a whole lot of people will come up and say, well, dude, you know, it actually was only made for $250,000. Exactly what in the hell were you, expecting? Fuck you. This thing was made with $15,000 and looks better than damn near any film I've seen in the past couple of years that didn't cost millions, okay? Because I have seen tons and tons of low-budget flicks. Most of them look absolutely hideous. But this thing shows that you can work miracles with only $15,000. And I mean, hell, guys, this thing looked fantastic. Makeup effects, special effects, sound, camera work, all of that was absolutely fantastic. And I've seen so many really bad low budget films that I guess I actually sort of going into this one expecting it to either look or sound awful. But no, this is a very solid movie. The acting, my God, the acting is just okay. Well, first of all, now the acting is good, but see, I kind of have to explain where I'm coming from on that, because see, I have stated a few times, and I made this a very abundant point when I was reviewing Poultrygeist, that I am a fan of trauma films, and I kind of sort of like the trauma acting style, which is campy and hammy and goofy, but still really lovable and still really funny. This thing nails that sort of acting style, where absolutely everybody is, camping it up, hamming it up, and it's really fucking funny. It is absolutely hysterical, and I'm going to tell you guys, if you can find a copy of this thing anywhere, I would highly recommend it, and I am going to talk about that in just a sec, but I do have to cover the rest of the stuff in the film. The writing. Again, seeing as how this thing was a low-budget flick, usually that oftentimes means that the writing is kind of weak. In this case, it is not. This film has some of the strongest writing I've seen from a comedy in quite a while, because a whole lot of comedies lately are just trying to go for the lowest common denominator when it comes to humor. They actually are just trying to go for the ultra cheap laugh. This thing will actually go for the cheap laugh occasionally, but almost everything else is really thought out, it's really clever, it's really witty. One thing which you would not know unless you watched the film is that they have tons of parodies for commercials, where it's basically just two people and they basically are just reading off of cue cards for these really inane and idiotic products. And it is meant to and it is meant to parody those god-awful ads you see on TV for things like fucking like medicines and other such crap, condoms and public service announcements and all of that. And the actors just go and they purposely like read off lines poorly, and it comes off really funny. I watched this film and I absolutely loved every second of it. I'm trying to think if there were really any like negatives. Well, again, mind you, again, this only applies to the DVD. You do have those 10 minutes of trailers. I am not going to stop harping on that because that was bullshit. You shouldn't have to slog through 10 minutes of god-awful commercials and god-awful trailers to get to the film you want to watch when you pop the DVD into the player. But hey, that happens, okay? And, you know, if you actually are able to get past those, hey, go for it. Your best bet is pop it in and go and take a fucking shit, come back, and your movie's ready. It's really, really bad when you actually have to tell somebody to go and take a fucking break prior to watching the movie. But hey, it's just one of those things. Now, I have stated, if you can find this thing anywhere, your best bet's to look for it. If this thing is on Netflix, watch it. If this thing's on Hulu, watch it. If you happen to go over to a, Redbox kiosk and this thing is sitting in there, pick it up. You will absolutely love it. I am going to tell you guys, I have seen a lot of horror comedies. This one ranks up there amongst classics such as Dead Alive and Fido and Shaun of the Dead. This thing ranks right up there with those. This movie was absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. And just as a closing question, where the hell else are you going to find a movie which has a virgin, his best friend, a robot, a wrestler, and a lunatic fighting off hordes of zombie vampire demon things? What other movie's ever going to be able to tout that and actually be good? I'm telling you guys, right here it is. You are gonna absolutely adore this film if you are into high quality cheesy flicks. I loved this movie, and this thing is gonna have a very, very special spot on my DVD shelf once I'm done filming. Wow, I really am shocked, guys, because hell, this thing only cost me like $2, and you know, when I happen to buy a movie for $2, I usually kind of fear the worst. But this time I was pleasantly surprised. So hey, that's fantastic. So yeah, guys, by all means, go out and look for this movie. There is no way in hell I could possibly praise My Bloody Wedding any harder. I mean, this thing should be viewed by every human being who likes horror films and likes horror comedies. You will absolutely love it. And I seriously just feel almost like I am just gushing now, so I am just going to end this, and I'm just going to kick back and just, you know, love this. Alright, so anyway, guys. Yeah, like right now I am just rambling. I think it's just the fact that the last couple of movies I've done, if memory serves, were, you know, average to okay to shit. This thing just blew away any and all expectations I could have possibly set for it, and I love that. So, folks, with that we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.